Good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing today?
Fine, sir.
Okay, so I'm your basic technology teacher for today, and I'm going to be taking you on the subject concept of maintenance. What did I say?
Concept of maintenance.
Good. I like the audience I'm getting.
Thank you, sir.
So today's class is going to be more of an interactive class because we do not have time on our side. So in our next class, we're going to take down notes. But right now, I want you to be very attentive and listen to the explanations I have because I have to jot down some very, very vital points in my books which I'll be reading as well explaining. Okay? At the end of my class, I'm going to ask questions definitely. So I need you all to pay attention closely. Alright?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll start by maintenance. I know we are all familiar with the word maintenance, right? So who can give me his or her idea of maintenance? Anybody? I'm trying to the class. Okay, you?
Maintenance is simply keeping an object in good usage to maintain the lifespan.
Excellent. Round of applause for that. As simple as that. You know, as we humans, maintenance is our everyday activity in order to keep things going and everything working fine. So I'm going to give a very quick definition about maintenance, which I have right here. Okay? So maintenance is generally can be defined as efforts taken to keep the condition and performance of a machine always intact to avoid damages. The explanation is very, very simple. In order for your car, for example, in order for your car to be in a good working condition, you have to keep up with the maintenance. You have to change its oil, you have to take it to the mechanic, any fault you have to fix it at that point to keep your machine active. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, no, we don't have time on our side, so we'll move to the importance of maintenance. So number one, maintenance is necessary in order to keep the machine in good operating condition, just like I said earlier. For your machine to work fine, you have to keep it in the good condition. Maintenance is also necessary to avoid sudden breakdown of machines. For example, when you are traveling, if you don't take precautions or if you don't take earlier precautions of checking the oil or changing the water from your car, you might face a breakdown in the middle of your journey. It is inevitable. If you do not take care of your machines, you are going to face sudden breakdowns. So maintenance gives us that ability to what? To avoid such sudden occurrences. Is that correct? Okay, so number 3, when regular maintenance is done, the high cost of repairs after a breakdown is avoided. If you do your regular maintenance, you won't be going to the mechanic often. The mechanic will be taking money from you often. Exactly. This point is very, very simple. So there is a key word to maintenance. And I'm going to write it out. Please, can you read it out for me?
Maintenance is cheaper than repair.
Simple. Maintenance is cheaper than repair. If you maintain your machine very well, it will save you a lot of money and a lot of stress as well. Okay, so we don't have time on our side. I'm going to proceed now to ask some relevant questions. Okay? So, who can tell me what maintenance is? From what I just talked about. Anyone, tell me a question of class. Okay?
Maintenance can be defined as the process of a method of keeping your things in check in order to avoid damage.
Excellent. So I'm very sure the lesson was well understood and comprehended. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to write out your assignment definitely. Now next class we are going to write a lot of notes. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So take out your assignment book and take this assignment, please. Alright, I call it a day. I'll see you in my next class. Thank you.
How are you all doing? Fine, thank you. So I'm a basic technology teacher. So, and I'm sure most of you have heard about drawing before. I'm sure most of you have drawn one thing. I know most of you draw apple, ball, and everything. And we've made use of drawing instruments before. So please you can give me a definition of what drawing is. A definition of what drawing is. Anybody? Anybody? Definition of what drawing is. You?
And drawing can be seen as the act of using pen, pencil, or even crayon to sketch any art of work other than painting.
Okay, please a round of applause for me. And I'm sure most of you have used drawing instruments before. Have used drawing instruments before. So our topic for today is what? Drawing practice. Repeat.
Drawing practice.
Another drawing practice, we have a subtopic that we're going to be treating majorly today because this drawing practice is actually very broad. We're taking one part which is drawing instruments and materials. Please repeat after me.
Drawing instruments and materials.
We have drawing instruments and what? Materials. We have drawing instruments and we have what? Drawing materials. Today I want to give you a differentiation of what the two means. Drawing instruments are actually instruments that do not, they are inexhaustible. The instruments that are inexhaustible, when you use them, you don't get exhausted. Why drawing materials are materials, and when you use them, you get exhausted. So, examples of drawing instruments, can you do right? An example of drawing instruments, we have ruler, we have the protractor, we have the drawing board. Have you written this down?
Yes, ma'am.
So, we also have drawing materials. Drawing materials are materials that when you use them to draw, they get exhausted. They get what? Exhausted. An example is what? Eraser. We have eraser, we have what? A pencil. This is an example of what I mean. This is what? A pencil. This is what? A pencil. A pencil for what? Drawing. And this is what? This is a pencil. So it's a drawing what? Material. But like from what I told you, it's a what? Drawing material. This is an eraser. By the time you use it to get finished, this is a drawing what? Material. So this is a ruler. A ruler. This is a drawing what? Instrument. Drawing what? Instrument. We also have, this is a compass. A compass, this is what? A drawing what? Instrument. So that is all we have for today. And I'm sure you've understood everything I've told you. Do you understand? Yes. Are you sure you understand? Yes. Okay, so let's take a short quiz. Let's take a short quiz. A ruler is an example of what? Drawing instrument. It's an example of what? Drawing instrument. And an eraser is an example of what? Drawing material. Okay, so, is there any other question? Yes, in absence of no question, I have an assignment for you. Please write now. So, once you're done copying this assignment, we are done for the class today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
My name is Ms. Buba Mafeng, and I'm going to be taking basic technology for today. And our topic today is products of technology. Repeat after me. Products of technology. Products of technology. So, who can help me to define the meaning of technology? The word technology, what do you understand by the word technology? Yes, James.
Technology is the application of science to make human life better.
Thank you. Clap for them. Who understands the word technology? Another definition. Aisha, can you give me another definition of technology? Answer everything about technology. Let's clap for her. Okay, I want us to all write down the meaning of products of technology. Do we all have our notebooks? Products of technology are tangible objects that have been designed by people and developed through technological practice to serve particular functions. Should I go again? Products of technology are tangible objects that are being designed by people and also developed through technological practice to serve particular functions. And we're going to quickly look at types of products of technology. We have so many products of technology around us, in our homes, in our schools, around wherever we go. And some examples of these technologies are: one, television; two, phones, our mobile phones that we all have, or our parents have; three, we have cars; another one is we have the air conditioner, so that's AC. Who can give me another example of products of technology around us? Yes?
Radio.
Radio, thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. Who can give me another one? In our homes, anything you see as a technology. Yes?
Computer.
Thank you so much. A round of applause for me. Yeah, who can give me the final one? Projector, thank you very much. Round of applause for me. So all these listed here are types of products of technology, and we all know what a television is used for. We use it to get information, to entertain ourselves worldwide. Our phones, we use our phones for communication, talking to people, our friends, our family around the world. And cars here are used as a means of transportation, going from one destination to the other. Who can tell me what an air conditioner is used for? Anybody? Yes?
It's used to cool down and hot environment for a room.
Thank you very much. Round of applause. Radio too is used for telling information. Unlike the television, you cannot see, you can only hear when it comes to the radio. Different. And the computer is used for, you can use the computer to type, to watch movies, also use it to calculate and so many other things. And for your projector, it's used for viewing. Who can tell me what a projector is used for? Anybody?
It's used for viewing images and audio on a larger scale.
Thank you very much. So do you all understand the meaning and types of products of technology? Alright, so you take down your assignments here to be submitted on Tuesday. Please write down your assignments. So without any question, I'll see you guys next Tuesday with your assignments. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you. God bless you, sir.
How are you doing?
Thank you.
Why you guys doing this afternoon? Everybody stand up. Yeah, jump up 2 times. Jump. Yeah, sit down. So last week we went to the computer room for the practical session. Then I saw one of the students visited Facebook. He was using Facebook, though I actually logged in. But when I looked at what he did then, that made me conclude that okay, I'm going to take you guys that concept as the next class. So Facebook is what do you understand? Like, what made it possible for you to access Facebook? What makes it possible for you? Thank you.
The internet.
The internet. So our topic for today is going to be internet basics. Internet basics. So what's an internet? What's an internet? What's an internet? Any idea? Any idea? Okay. In the absence of online information, the internet is a vast collection of So, I said internet is a collection of networks that connects computers worldwide to share and receive information. Repeat after me. The internet is a collection of networks
The internet is a collection of networks
that connects computers worldwide
that connects computers worldwide
to share and receive information.
to share and receive.
So, under internet, we have what we call web. What did I say?
Web.
Web. So, web is also known as www, that is World Wide Web. So, it is essentially the collection of an uncountable numbers of pages shown on the internet. That is, the collection of uncountable number of pages. Any pages, all the pages that you see on the internet is what we call a web. So, we have some web technologies that makes it possible for you to access the internet. Number one, we have the browser. The browser. So when I talk about browser, I'm talking about probably mobile applications that when you click on it, it will grant you access to the internet. So we have types of browsers. We have the Safari. We have the Google Chrome, and we have the Opera browser. Repeat after me. Safari, Google Chrome, and Opera browser.
Safari, Google Chrome, and Opera browser.
So number two, we have the links. This means collection of images or text that makes it possible to access a website. For example, let me say you want to access the university websites, university of their websites, we talk about www.unilorry.edu.ng. So if someone sends you something like this and you click on it on your mobile phone, it is going to redirect you to the website. Okay. So number 3, I said we have websites. So what's the website? The website is a collection of web pages. Like this, multiple web pages, not just a web page, like multiple web pages. From when I mentioned university websites like www.unilorry.edu.ng, when you click on it, it's going to direct you to the university's website. When you click on continue on it, you will see it. So when you click on it, it will take you to the home page. When you click on the home page, when you click on undergraduates, it will redirect you again to another web page. So that's what we call website. It's combination of 2 or more websites. So now, from the last practical that I said I took the students to. So when did I access Facebook.com? How many of you didn't know how to access the website? At least know how to use the internet. You probably seen your dad operating Facebook before and wonder how did you do this? How did you do that? So from my explanation here, if you want to access the website, you turn on your network for your internet service provider, that is ISP. Probably like MTN, Airtel, stuff like that. So when you turn on your data connection, then on your browser, you can either use Safari or Google Chrome. There are different types of browser. Let's say you are familiar with Google Chrome. So when you click on Google Chrome, then on the search tab, you click on www.facebook.com. So when you click on www.facebook.com, it will redirect you to the Facebook homepage. So from there, you see the option where you want to probably sign up or create a new account. Hope you understand how to use the internet now.
Yes.
So any question? Farouk, what's the web page?
The web page is a combination of internet pages that gives data information.
Okay, round of applause. So, my assignments. We have other web technologies, so I just gave you 3. So you discuss other types of web technologies that we have. Okay, use your assignment to discuss other types of web technologies that we have to be submitted next week Monday. You write it in a sheet of paper, don't write it in your computer notes, then submit to your class captain. Thank you.
This afternoon we're going to computer studies. Yeah, in our last class I took you all to the computer lab, and you also saw the part of the computer, right? Yes, sir. Angela, yeah, so what you are doing. Now, I took you all to the computer lab where you also saw the part of the computer. I explained that there are 2 types of parts of the computer, the hardware and the software, right? Now, going basically into the hardware, where I told you there are input devices and output devices. But this afternoon, we're going into input devices. What did I say? Input devices. Input devices. Put that down. Now, we operated the computer, and as a practical review about the input devices. Now, the definition of input device. So, input devices are parts of the computer used to feed data into the computer. I don't know if you understand what I was trying to say. Try to picture the practical that we did where we are trying to operate the computer system, making it work. So, input devices. Tayo, can you voice you? So, input devices are part of the computer that feed data into the computer. Now, there are examples of input devices. Who can give me one? Just try. Yes? The keyboard. The keyboard. The round of applause for you. Who can give me another one? Mouse. A round of applause for her. So before we move on, what's the keyboard used for? Yeah, to type. You see that where I asked Lara to type some keywords. You see that they appear on the screen of the computer, right? Now, a mouse, what's the mouse used for? It is used to control the cursor wherever you want to click on the computer system. Now, look at another one again. Anyone? The CPU? Is that an input device? You guys, what about joysticks? Joysticks. Are you guys playing all these PlayStations at home? The gamepad, they are joysticks. You see that when you press a particular key, it reflects on the computer system. That is a joystick. You all understand? Yes. So, another question concerning input devices. Other questions concerning input devices. Before we move now, let's start with going to output devices. Another question? Another question, okay. And the answer is no question. About of these ones that are listed, you can give me another one if there is no question. Flash drives. A scanner, thank you very much. You want to applause for her? Okay, wait, don't let me wait that. Let me give you guys an assignment. So you all think that included the scanner, so let me put scanner, but I want you guys to do your findings concerning the scanner. Thank you guys. See you in the next class. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
I was going. So my name is Mr. John, and I am going to be taking basic technology. And the topic that we are going to be choosing today is first aid. How do you guys call the topic that we are going to be choosing today?
First aid.
First aid. Who can tell me what he or she understands by first aid? Anybody? Nobody? Okay.
First aid is an treatment needed to an injured person.
Yeah, correct. A round of applause for her. First aid. Any other person? Nobody. Okay. So, first aid is the immediate treatment given to an injured person. Maybe you are in the workshop, you are running on your woodwork or your metal works, and someone mistakenly gets injured, or you got caught by the plier or the spanner. First aid is going to be the immediate treatment that the person is going to be receiving before taking to the hospital. Or before the arrival of a doctor. So if someone gets injured in the workshop, maybe you are trying to saw your wood and you got hurt by mistake, the first aid is going to be the first thing that is going to be administered to the person in order to prevent any further infection before the person is taken to the hospital or before the doctor arrives, in case you call a doctor. And the person that administers that treatment is called the first aider. The first aider. What did I call it?
First aider.
So the first aider has to have some qualities, some characteristics that is going to make him the perfect person for the job. So the qualities of the first aider must be: number one, they must have good knowledge of the first aid. So the person must know what to do and how to treat particular sets of injuries so that they will not make mistakes while treating any injured person. And the person must be kind and cheerful. In order not to infuriate or scare the patient, they must be empathetic. They must try to go along with the mood of the person they are trying to treat. The person must be tactful. Tactful in the sense that the person must know what to do and when to do it in order to not be clumsy and to not make mistakes while treating the person. And the person must be a good observer. The person must be able to be aware of whatever is going on in his environment. The person must be able to understand what is going on. And next thing we are going to treat is the first aid box. I'm sure most of you have heard about the first aid box. Haven't you? Yes. So who can tell me what the first aid box is and what it looks like? Anybody? Odega.
It looks like it's a white rectangle cross. So it's most and square.
Round of applause for him. A first aid box is a box that contains everything that is used to treat an injured person in the workshop. And like Odega said, it is almost every time a white box with a little bit of red cross on it. So the contents of the white first aid box, who can tell me any things that we can find in the first aid box? Cotton wool. Round of applause for him. Another person? Yes. Bandages. Round of applause for her. Any other person? Anybody? Ireland. Round of applause for her. Can anybody give us another one? Any? I guess you can find the first aid box. Scissors. Round of applause for them. Emmanuel. First aid box. No idea. No idea. Spirit. Ventilated spirit. Round of applause for you. So that is all that we are going to be doing today. And for your assignment, you should give me another five items that we can find in the first aid box. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Everyday class. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm taking our mathematics. I want your attention, 100% attention. I want everybody to echo this. I love mathematics. I love mathematics. See, the face I can see, I don't say it for me. I say, I love mathematics. I love mathematics. Right. talking about fraction. Fraction. What did I say?
Fraction.
Fraction. Fraction. Alright. Fraction is a distribution of number in proportion. Fraction is a distribution of number in proportion. For example, at home, you are three children, a family of 3 children were given 15 apples to share. In what proportion would they share? On an equal rate. Can you try? There are 3 people were given 15 apples to share. How many will each of them take on an equal rate?
5.
Very good. Give him a round of applause. So they will take 5 each. That is, we can now say 3 over 5. 3 over 5. Sorry, 3 over 15. So 15 apples was to be shared among 3 children. So each of them will take how many? 5 each. So this is what a fraction number looks like. Are we following?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Now I said fraction is the distribution of number in proportion. Now we're talking about types of fraction. And after type of fraction, in our next class, we're talking about addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of fractions. And people are scared already. Don't worry, it's simple. It's simple. Alright, so we have types of fraction. Number 1, proper fraction. What did I say?
Proper fraction.
What did I say?
Proper fraction.
Alright. Should anybody try? What's proper? Oh, awesome, Jide. What's proper fraction?
This is the type of fraction in which
Okay.
the numerator
Alright.
is lower than the denominator.
That's a good attempt. That's a good attempt, but not exactly. Give him a round of applause. I know you found that it's right. That's the proper fraction. Now look at this. You know we talked about 3 over 15. In fraction, the number on top is called the numerator. Right? Sorry, the number on top is called what? The denominator. Is that correct?
Yes.
Then the one under is called the what? The numerator. Alright. So in this, the one on top, for proper fraction, the one on top is always on the lower rate. Then the one under is what? Higher. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
3 over 5. For example, Jide is 15 years old. Then his younger brother is 3 years old. Can his younger brother carry him? No. So this is a proper arrangement. That's why it's called proper fraction. Are you following? Yeah. Alright. So this is what? Denominator and what? The numerator. Now for an improper fraction, it is the otherwise is the case. Then you have the lesser number under, then the higher number on top. For example, let me show you an example. 15 over 3. 15 over 3. This is an example of what?
Improper.
I can't hear you.
Improper fraction.
This is an example of improper fraction. The lower number is beneath, while the higher number is what? On top. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, then finally we have mixed fraction. What did I say?
Mixed
fraction. Mixed fraction, there is always an whole number. For example, 2 and a half, which is written like this. 2, 1 over 2 number 1 over 2. This is an example of what? A mixed fraction. An example of a mixed fraction. Now I'm writing a couple of numbers. I want you to identify which is proper, improper, and mixed. Alright, Emmanuel, what kind of fraction is this?
Proper fraction.
Give him a round of applause. Stop talking in my class. Give him a round of applause. This is a proper fraction, 5 over 10. Jide, 3 over 9. What kind of fraction is this? Proper fraction. Give him a round of applause. Look
Alright, Stella, what kind of fraction is this?
Improper.
3 whole number 2
Okay,
over 3.
compromise. Mixed.
You see, you're not following in my class. Alright, this is a mixed
It's a mixed
fraction. Alright, assignment. That will be all for today. Our assignment is this. Write 20 fraction numbers and state their type. Is that okay? Right. I want to see you right now. Write 20 fraction numbers and state their type. Alright, see you guys in the next class. Thank you.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
How are you doing?
We're fine, sir.
So in our last class, we talked about costing tools. So today we are heading into driving tools. So what do you understand by the word driving tools? Anyone? Okay, in case no one wants to help us, let me give you the explanation here. So, driving tools are tools used for driving objects in a material. Repeat after me.
Driving tools are tools used for driving in objects in a material.
So, in the case of material objects like bolts, screw, and rivets, are required to join parts together. So, in the case of material objects like bolts, screw, and rivets are required to join parts together. So, there are 5 different types of driving tools. Which is 1. Hammer. 2. Dial. 3. Punches. 4. Scissors. 5. Spanner. So we are going to be taking the explanation one after the other. So we start with hammer. What do you understand by the word hammer? Hammer. What do you understand by the word?
Hammers are materials or tools that are used to driving objects such as nails, screws, and
The answer for So he said, hammers are metal or driving tools used for driving in objects into a material, and it is also used for beating out dents in a metal sheet. So the hammer consists of a wooden handle and a small steel head, and it is classified as straight edge pattern, ball-end hammer,
cutting, and claw pen hammer or claw hammers respectively. So I think we are done with number 1 here. So we are heading into number 2. What do you understand by the word plier? Plier is something that we do see every day. Most of us have it in our own home. Has someone helped me with the correct definition of plier? Anybody? Anybody? Correct definition of plier. That's correct.
I'm not sure.
No idea. How about you?
From my own perspective,
Okay.
a plier is a tool used to drive out nails. Can be used to drive out nails from wooden or wood.
Okay. Alright, you try actually. The answer comes from the try. So, pliers, they are metal work handles used for gripping, bending, cutting small diameters of rod or wires, respectively. People know how a plier looks like. Though there is no correct illustration of plier. I believe you guys know how a plier looks like. The electrician usually use it. Even those welders, they do use it as well. So let's head into number 3, which is punches. Punches, they are also metal work handles used for driving or pushing in an object such as rivets in a material. You guys get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
So what do I say just now? What do I say punches is? Punches. Okay. I said punches and pliers. Pliers, sorry. Sorry. I think you are in number 3, right? Punches. I said punches are metal work handles used for driving in objects such as rivets in a material. It consists of a having to steel. They are mostly used by those, I think the mechanic do even the weather do usually. So the punching is something that looks like this. Although it looks like a nail, but it's not nail. Quite small, bigger than a nail. So, I added into number 4, which is screwdriver. Screwdriver, they are also metal work handles used for driving or pushing in bolts or screws and nuts together to hold parts together. So they are operated manually. Let me say, okay, there's no clear demonstration of screwdriver, so I'm going to use this one as an example. The screwdriver is something that looks like this. It's operated manually. Look at this desk now. They use screwdriver to screw all those things. You can't use your own hand, but if you use your own hand, you might injure yourself in that process. So, screwdrivers can be classified into flat screw and stacked screw, respectively. I think we are done with number 4, so we are heading to number 5, spanner. Spanner, they are also metal work handles used for tightening or loosening of bolts and nuts, respectively. They are also operated manually, which is by hand, after which turning is done to hold pull or both heads together, and to hold parts together firmly. So, I think that is all. So, you all understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You all have a question? Ask a question. I'm with you. Why are you speaking? Stand up. Any question?
No, sir.
Okay. In the absence of no question, I have a question. Let me understand. Your driving.
Everything's actually tools that used to drive the object in material.
How's about that? You can sit down. This side. Okay. Who can give me the 3 types of driving tools? Any 3 you know.
Hammer,
Okay.
spanner, screwdriver.
Okay. The answer about that. So, come on. What do we use pliers for?
Me?
You in particular.
Pliers are used to cut and or bend metals.
Okay? Answer that. So, I think we are done now. So, you guys will take this assignment down. So I think you guys can take your book out and write this assignment now.
Thank you, sir.
So let's call it a day.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you today? I'm fine. Okay, my name is Miss Becky. I'll be your basic science and technology teacher for today. Today's topic is frictional force. What did I say? Frictional force. When we talk about friction, first I'd like to define frictional force. Frictional force is the force which tries to prevent the motion of one surface against another. Friction simply means it has to be surfaces, and when we talk about the first frictional force is the force which tries to prevent the motion of one surface over another. What did I say? Okay, let me read myself. Just a minute. Friction is prevent the motion I believe you can see what I wrote for the board. So now you repeat after me. Friction is the force which tries to prevent the motion of one surface over another.
fiction is that it occurs while rubbing surfaces of an object against another. I believe you all know what surface is. Please, if you can explain in your own understanding what you understand by surfaces. And okay. Surface simply means the face of something. It can even be this particular table that I have here. The place that you can touch and feel, that is the surface. So, fiction occurs when you rub surfaces together. And examples of fiction, we have examples of may I tell you that fiction is what we do every day? Because number one example of fiction is your leg, the friction between your leg against the hard surface, against the ground. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. I believe you all here. So friction is what we do every day. Number one example of friction is the friction between your leg. So that is the number one example, the friction between your leg and the ground on which we all walk on. Another example is the rubbing of palm. Let me demonstrate that. I told you that friction is the rubbing of surfaces. Okay, now this is the surface and another surface, and this is my palm. Rubbing together. Can you demonstrate this? Can you all rub your hands together? What are we doing? Friction. What is this you are doing? Friction. Rubbing of surfaces together. Rubbing your hands together. The motion between your leg and the ground is also called friction. So number two example is rubbing of your hands together. Let me put that on the board. Another example. This particular example, I believe we all see it everywhere we go. I believe we all see it everywhere we go. Like, okay, when we are coming to school today, how many of you saw the camels on the road? Camels on the road. Another example of friction is the friction, the motion between a car tire and the ground and the road on which it goes on. That is another example. So we move to the advantages. Friction advantages is that it allows you to stand and walk. Without friction, you won't be able to stand and walk the way we do every day. We would have probably slipped. So another one is that you can hold a object properly without friction. Like right now, I'm holding this. There is friction between these two surfaces. If there is no friction, you can properly slip or something. Another advantage is that, like I said, the friction between tires and the road. If there is no friction, then there will be movement of tires and cars on the road. Then there's nothing that has advantages that doesn't have disadvantages. So one of the advantages of friction is that it can cause accidents. Disadvantages, yes. When a vehicle applied solely on wet ground. Have you experienced this kind of situation whereby someone poured a slippery water on the floor and then you just walk on that time? What will happen? Who can tell me what will happen?
The person will slip and fall.
The person will slip and fall. That is because there is no friction at that particular time. So we see the importance of friction in our everyday activity. So any questions for me? I believe you all understand this.
Yes, ma'am.
Questions? About we get questions? Okay, in the absence of no question. So, Sharon, can you give me the meaning of friction?
Friction is the force which tries to prevent the motion of one surface over another.
A round of applause for me. That means you were paying attention when I was talking about it. Very good. So I'll give you this assignment to take home. Submit first thing on my table. Bring out so you can copy this assignment.
have come together in class at the night.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is Matthew Tamiwa, and I'll be your basic teacher for today. So we are going to be treating on the subject concept of maintenance. What did I say?
Concept of maintenance.
Concept of maintenance. I'm sure we are all familiar with the word maintenance, if I'm correct. Okay, so this is going to be more of an interactive class. You understand? Because we are all familiar with, from previous knowledge, we are familiar with the word maintenance. So can anyone stand up and give me their own point of view of what maintenance is? I'm throwing questions to class. Anyone? Or should I point to you guys? Okay. What can you do? Okay.
Maintenance is the act of preserving something for to enable longer longevity and extended use.
Excellent, excellent. Because that is a whole different view of maintenance. But now we are dealing with maintenance in the aspect of machines. Do you understand? So I will give you a brief definition of maintenance because I jotted down some vital points during my research on this topic. So maintenance in general can be defined as efforts taken to keep the condition and performance of a machine intact, always intact. Did you get it? Yeah. Or should I come again? I'll go again. Maintenance in general can be defined as efforts taken to keep the condition and performance of a machine always intact. Did you get it now? It is simple, just like the word implies. When you keep your machine up to date, when you do the regular checks on your machines, let's take for example your car now. You have a car and you're trying to embark on a journey. You have to take heed to the precautions. Like you have to make precautions. I'm talking about like the change of the oil in your car, the change of water to avoid sudden breakdown on your journey or wherever your destination you are heading to. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we move over to the importance of maintenance. I put down some vital points here, and I'm going to read out to you. Number one, maintenance is necessary in order to keep the machine in good operating condition. Very, very simple. It's the word maintenance alone. The simplicity is very clear in the sense that if you maintain your machine, definitely it's going to stay in a good working condition. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So number two, maintenance is also necessary in order to avoid sudden breakdown. If you're paying close attention from the definition of maintenance, I spoke about avoiding sudden breakdown, right? So once you maintain your machines, you are definitely going to avoid sudden breakdowns and disappointments. Is that correct? So the last point, when regular maintenance is done, the high cost of repair is avoided. Is that understood?
Yes,
When you maintain your machines regularly, it helps you avoid the mechanic. You won't have to spend much money and you save up much money from the mechanic. Is that understood? Okay. So there's a key word. There's a key word to maintenance. I'm going to write it out on the board. Class, can you read it out for me?
Maintenance is cheaper than repair.
Maintenance is cheaper than repair. If you maintain your machine very well, you won't have a reason to spend money on it. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Good. So, in my next class, we are going to talk about the types of maintenance. We do not have time on our side. And in our next class, we are going to write a lot of notes. So, you guys should come with your notebooks. While for the meantime, I will give you these assignments to take home and to be submitted in my next class. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
I hope my writing is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll call it a day. I'll see you in my next class.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
How are you all doing? Okay, so we're going to be talking about drawing practice today. We're going to talk about drawing practice today. And I'm sure most of you have done and practiced it. You have used drawing instruments or you practiced drawing materials before. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be adopting a discussion method for this class. So every one of you is going to give me an example of a drawing instrument. Like an example of a drawing material that you've used before. So I want an example from you. Julie.
Pencil.
Pencil. Aisha. Lisa. Ruler. Compass. Drawing board. Okay, so we have those are what examples of drawing instruments and drawing materials. So under drawing practice, we're going to be doing something called the difference between drawing instruments and drawing material. I'm sure you hear you say, oh, I'm using a drawing material to draw. I'm using a drawing instrument. But do you even know that there's actually a difference between both? Do you actually know that there's a difference between both of them, between both instruments? There are differences. Drawing instruments is not drawing material. I'm sure that you don't know about it before, but there are actually differences between the two. So, write down the topic. Our topic for today: drawing instruments and drawing materials. We have drawing instruments and drawing materials. So, drawing instruments is simply instruments that do not get exhausted. Drawing instruments are simply instruments that know what they cannot finish. They cannot finish. They cannot finish. They cannot finish. Like this, like you cannot sign it. And by the time it's just like the string, it cannot show. That's why it is called a drawing instrument. That's why it is what? A drawing instrument. So that's an example of what drawing instrument. So this is drawing instrument. We have what? Ruler. So from the definition of drawing instruments that I've given you the definition of drawing instruments. So from the definition of drawing instruments, can anyone give another example of a drawing instrument? Compass. Please, a round of applause for drawing materials. Drawing materials are simple materials that when used they get exhausted, like they get finished. By the time you get to them, before you know it has finished. So an example is the pencil. By the time you use your pencil for drawing, you know you're going to sharpen and sharpen and sharpen and sharpen. Before you know, it has finished. It's exhausted already. And also we have what? Eraser. By the time you use your eraser to clean and erase and erase and erase. By the time you use your eraser to erase and erase and erase, before you know, this is what? This is exhausted. This is what? This is what? Exhausted. Do you understand? Yes, ma'am. Do you understand? Yes. Alright, but can I put this down? In 1 minute, put this down. Put this down in 1 minute. I want to see everybody writing. Put this down in 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Are you done writing?
Yes.
Yes. Are you done writing?
Yes.
So do you understand? Yes. Any question? I'm sure you now know the difference between drawing instruments. I know the difference between drawing you know what drawing materials are. Any question? So now we're going to do a short quiz. A what? A short quiz. An eraser is what?
A drawing material.
It's a drawing material. Round of applause for her. A divider is what?
Drawing instruments.
A round of applause for you. So those people that answered my question are going to have extra 5 marks. That's why I said it's actually a quiz. So I'm going to have extra 5 marks. I'm going to give you extra 5 marks to your test. So any other question? Any other question? In the absence of no question, we are done for the day. Thank you so much.
My name is Ms. Kumamafen and I'm taking you basic technology for today. And our topic for today is products of technology. Repeat after me.
Products of technology.
Once again.
Products of technology.
So, who can tell me what technology is? We hear technology. What do you think or know what technology is?
Technology is the act of applying scientific knowledge into our daily activities to make it more easier and faster.
Thank you. Round of applause for him. So we'll be looking at products of technology. What do you understand by products of technology? Defined as tangible objects that have been designed by people and developed through technological practice to serve particular functions. When we say tangible, we mean those things that are touchable, that are real. And I have here with me some examples of products of technology. Who can tell me what this is?
A wristwatch.
A wristwatch. Thank you very much. This wristwatch is a type of product of technology. We also have a mobile phone here used for communicating, and earpiece is here too. Anything around us that we use for technological purposes is known as a product of technology. So, who can tell me another example, apart from these ones that I've shown you here, who can tell me another example of a product of technology? Anyone? Yes, television, yes. Clap for her. Another one.
Digital cameras.
Digital cameras. Thank you. Round of applause for him. Who can give me another one?
Drones.
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 Drones. Okay. Thank you very much. A round of applause for him. So who can give me one last one?
Radio.
Radio. Thank you so much. Yes. Round of applause for him. So we also have okay, well, I've said mobile phones too. All these are what products of technology. Now, television, as we all know, is we use the television to watch our favorite shows on television, use for the news to get intel on everything that's happening in our surroundings. Also use our digital cameras to capture happy, sad, different moments, different emotions that are feeling. Digital camera can capture all those moments for you. And we also use the drones to also video and capture capture our surroundings from far and near distances. Our radio too is used. You can only listen to information or even music and anything on the radio, and our phones, we all know our phones used for communication. So, does anybody have any questions? We'll be rounding up for today. Any questions on products of technology? Are we all clear on products of technology?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now you can copy the assignment. Some assignment should be submitted on Tuesday, please. Next week Tuesday. Are we all listening?
Yes, ma'am.
So I will see you all next week. Have a nice day. Good afternoon,
My
sir.
name is Mr. Emmanuel, so I'm going to be taking computer studies. Last week, I made y'all go to the computer laboratory, the computer room, where y'all operated the computer system. Shola, you visited the page on Google Chrome last week. You visited Facebook.com. How is this possible? Like, what made it possible for you to visit Facebook.com? Anybody? Thank you. The internet. The round of applause. So our topic for today is going to be internet basics. Internet basics. So now, who can give an idea? Based on the illustration I just mentioned now, anyone that can define internet for me? The internet. Samsung, any idea?
Internet is a means through which you can have access to multimedia or any form of information worldwide.
Okay, round up. Okay, so the internet, why this element is a vast network that connects I hope you are writing down your notes.
Yes, sir.
So now repeat after me. Internet is a vast network. Repeat after me.
Internet is a vast network
That connects multiple computers to share and receive information. So, from this definition, it tells you that without the internet, it is not possible to share information. Though there are some information that you can share without the internet. For example, like your one-on-one information, whether I'm talking to you, I'm passing an information to you. During the classroom is where I'm passing an information to you guys now. So you guys are listening to it. You understand? So that's how I'm passing information. But information via the internet, whereby you are in Lagos and you want to tell someone that is in probably Abuja, you want to charge the person, okay, now I can tell you something that is going on in the family right now. So you use the internet. Without the internet, it's not possible. You won't be able to communicate with the person. So on our internet technologies, we have web. Repeat after me. Web. So who has an idea on what web? Web and internet are basically related together, but they have different meanings. So from the definition of internet, anybody just give it a try. A trial. What do you understand by the word web? What do you understand by the word web?
Okay. I would say web is a platform where information are being drawn for easy access, general access.
I accept your attempt, but that's not it. So the web is a collection of web pages. A web is a collection of web pages, just like a website. You understand? But just like a short form. Where can I say?
Web pages, you know to 12.
Okay, web page. Thank you very much. Thank you for your observation. So it's a collection of web pages. You understand? So we now have different types of web terminologies. Okay, we talked about internet, we talked about web. So how is it possible for us to visit the internet? That is when we come about the web technologies. Then we have browsers. Hope you are writing down the notes. We have the browsers. No, like the browser is an application that enables you to access the internet. You understand? Various types of browsers. We have various types of browsers. We have the Google Chrome. We have the Mozilla Firefox. And we have the Internet Explorer. Thank you. So another web technology that we have is a link. Link. What do you understand by the word link? Link. What do you understand by the word link? Okay. A link is a text or image that when you click on it, it will direct you to a website. Examples of links that we have, for example, let's use the University of Lawrence website. What's the website? The website is www.unilearning.edu.ng. You understand? Then, okay, there's always like it's underlined. You understand? That is when you know that okay, that's a link. So I actually write 5 types of technologies, but because of our time, we're just going to be discussing about 3. Then the other one that I'm going to be discussing about is a website. So from our collection here, a website is a collection of web pages. And it's not a single page. Once it's a single page, it's not a website. Collection, that is, when you click on www.unilearning.edu.ng, it will bring out the home page. So from the home page, you click on continue, it will take you to another website, then web page. So that is a collection of different web pages. So when you click on continue and it takes you to the home menu again, you click on undergraduates, it will redirect you to another web page again. So, okay, questions. Sharifat, what do you understand by the word links?
Link can be known as a text or any page that you can use to click to access a web page.
You have it. Okay, so who has a question for me? Any question? What do you understand? Any question? If you have a question, I'll ask another question. Shala, what is the website?
The website is a collection of web pages.
You have a okay, so my assignment. You know, I said I have more web technologies, so I gave you just 2. So you discuss about more web technologies. That we have. Write it on a sheet of paper with your name to be submitted next week morning. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So this afternoon we're going to computer studies. Hope you all are with your computer studies notes. I can't hear your replies though.
Yes, sir.
Better. Now, at the last class, I took you all to the computer lab. Okay, sorry, there were 2 tutorial classes. I took you all to the computer lab where you all see the computer parts and everything, and we all uploaded it. in our last class, I explained to you the hardware and the software. We went straight into the hardware part where we'll be talking about input devices and output devices. But first, we'll be going into the input devices first. What did I say? Input devices. Input devices. So, input devices, I won't be writing on the board anymore. You guys are the working. I'll be depicting, make sure you follow. So, input devices are parts of computer used to feed data into the computer. Input devices, let me put it again. Input devices are parts of computer used to feed data into the computer. I hope you all get that. Now, in the two previous slides, I believe, where I took you to the computer lab, you see when we were operating, I was kind of putting those, you understand? I didn't want to mention them because we are still going into that though. Yeah, I was kind of, like this, inputting some. So that those things I was touching are input devices. You understand? Now, examples of input devices. Now, before we write them down, who can give me one example? One example of an input device. Yes?
The mouse.
The mouse. You know that I was doing like this, the mouse, you understand? It's like a mouse. That was when you read the day, you understand? The mouse. The mouse at home, you understand? You see that it has the same shape. So what's the mouse used for? Yeah. For cursor. It's used for controlling, it's used for clicking, anything you want to input, anything you want to click on the computer system. Stop what you're doing. And pay attention. Which example did you give me just now?
Mouse.
A mouse. Now, okay, so look at you another example. Keyboard. A keyboard. A round of applause for you. A keyboard. So what's the keyboard used for? Okay, write this down. A keyboard is an input device. So that is used to enter data into a computer system. You see, when I was writing, I told you guys to type your name. You understand? My name is. You understand? That way. That's the process of inputting, of typing. That's the process of input. You see that as you're typing, it's reflected on the monitor. So the keyboard is an example of input device. So okay, so another one. Okay, the guys in the class stand up. If you can't give me this particular one that is in my mind, I'm very, very curious to see that. There's this one that you guys used to use. You guys will go to these game centers. Let's see. I don't say it. It's an example of, see that, you're very good guy. It's an example of input device. The process of you punching your X, your Y. You see that as you're punching, it's reflecting. That is, you are inputting a particular key into the computer system. Do you understand? Now, okay. You can wait before you give me another one. Let me give you guys an assignment. You guys need to list and explain. Okay, so I hope you all understand everything. Hope you all understand the meaning of an input device and the examples and what it really means when it comes to inputting a particular data into the computer system. Thank you. So we should submit on Wednesday morning for this month. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to be taking basic technology. And the topic that we are going to be treating today is a very familiar topic. First thing. What did I say? initial treatment. You can also call it immediate treatment or the prior treatment given to an injured person in the workshop before the arrival of the doctor or before the person is taken to the hospital for that treatment. Given to an injured person before the arrival of the doctor or before taking to the hospital. And the person that admits the first aid treatment is called the first aider. The first what?
The first aider.
The first aider. And the first aider must have some specific characteristics to make that will make him a good first aider and make him qualified for administering the first aid. The first one we are going to mention is they must have good knowledge of the first aid box and the use of each of these materials. So, a good first aider must have knowledge and know the uses of each of the materials in the first aid box. Number two, they must be kind and cheerful. They must be kind to the injured person. They must be cheerful. They must be able to lift the spirit of the injured person in order to take their mind off the pain and the injury, so that they will be empathetic. That is what they are trying to say. So they must be kind and cheerful. Number three, they must be tactful. Tactful means be organized, be composed. They must not become clumsy. They must know what to do at the right time and how to do it. So that's what it means to be tactful. And the last one is they must be a good observant. They must be able to understand, they must be able to notice whatever is going around in their environment. They must be able to notice every development and how to tackle it. And the next thing we are going to treat now is the first aid box. Has any one of us here has never seen first aid box? Is there anybody that has never seen the first aid box? No. So please, can you tell me what first aid box looks like?
It's like a square box.
What's the color?
Red and white.
Red and white. Round of applause for them. So the first aid box that we have in almost everywhere, every organization we do, is a white square box with cross imprints on it. Cross imprints in red. That is the composition of first aid box. Now, there are materials that it contains the material that is going to be used to treat an injured person before they are taken to the hospital. So, who can tell me the first aid materials that I can find in the first aid box? Because round of applause for you. Another person. Spirit. Round of applause for her. 6 of. A round of applause for our place. And I am going to add more here. There is the goals. So your assignment is going to be for you to give 5 other first aid materials and their uses. Apart from the ones that are listed here, and you are going to submit to next week. Thank you.
Good day, class.
Good day,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I'm super happy to see you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, alright. Last time we talked about fraction and its types, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So today we'll be looking at addition and subtraction of fraction. But before I proceed, I want you guys to say I love mathematics.
I love
Mathematics.
You see, when I get to this part, you guys will say it from your heart. Say it from your heart. I love mathematics.
I love mathematics.
Alright, today's date is 9th, right?
Yes, sir.
Alright, topic remain fraction. Where is the class captain? Why have you gotten us a new marker? People should make provision for the marker in the next class. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Okay, so addition of fraction. Addition of fraction. Okay. When we're solving fraction, this has to do with adding or putting some 2 or more fraction numbers. Is that okay? For example, add 3 over 9 and 3 over 3. Sorry, 3 over 3. Yeah. Okay, so now solving it. 3 over 9, the sign plus 3 over 3. Now, who can try? Maybe you've gotten the knowledge before. What is the next step to do at this stage? Who wants to try? Wow, I'm so impressed. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause. It sounds more than that. Alright, very good. I'm sure he's having a extra lesson teacher or something. Okay, the next step is to find the LCM. The LCM of 9 and 3. The LCM of the denominator. The denominator, the LCM of the denominator. Alright, that's 9 and 3. 9 and 3. So 3 in 9 is what?
3.
3. 3 in 3 is what?
1.
1. The next number is what? 3. Good. Right?
Yes, sir.
1, then 1. 3 times 3 is what?
9.
That means the LCM of 9 and 3 is what?
9.
9. The LCM of 9 and 3, which are the denominators, is 9. Are we following?
Yes,
Alright, so the next step is to divide by the denominator, then multiply by the numerator. So 9, that's you're using the LCM of the denominators. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so divide 9 by 9 will give you what? 1. Then multiply by 3 equals to what? 3. Very good. I love your participation. Alright, 9 divided by 3 is what? 3. 3 multiplied by 9 is what? 9. Right?
Yes, sir.
Are we following?
Yes, sir.
Colin, what's our answer now? You are not following the class. I want you to participate. Is that okay? Alright. 3 plus 9 is what? 12. 12 over then the LCM number. The LCM. That's 9. So our answer is 12 over 9. Is there any question on this? Any question at all? Okay. So are you saying if I should give you a song, you'll be able to solve it on your own? Should I try? Okay, alright, let's go to subtraction. Subtraction of fraction. Let's still take the same example. 3 over 3 minus 3 over 9. Subtract 3 over 3 from 3 over 9. Subtract 3 over 3 from 3 over 9. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Subtract subtract 3 over 3 from 3 over 9. Alright, what's the next step? Yeah, when you're solving for subtraction and multiplication, sorry, addition and subtraction, the first step is to find the LCM of the denominator. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so the LCM remains 9, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, Jide, what's the next step?
We have to divide the LCM with the numerator.
Alright, denominator, alright. Give him a round of applause. Now we're going to divide this then multiply by the denominator, numerator rather. Sorry. So 9 divided by 9 is what? 9 divided by 3 is what? 3. Then 3 multiplied by 3 is what? 9. Give us 9. Alright. So I want you to solve the next one. What's the answer? Somebody in your book and give us the answer.
3, sir.
Very good. Give him a round of applause. So Stella, what's our answer? 9 minus 3. Who is laughing? I'm hearing somebody laugh. Alright. 9 minus 3. What's the answer? Stella, you're not following. You want to try? Alright. 6. Very good. Give her a round of applause. So our answer is 6 over the LCM 9. Alright, so these are answers. Now we give you assignments to solve practical questions on addition and subtraction of fraction. But meanwhile, is there any question? Alright, very good. So bring out your book and write down this assignment. Add and subtract the following fraction. Alright, so I'll be collecting our assignments by Monday next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Morning, sir.
How are you doing?
Fine, sir.
So, in our last class, we talked about cutting tools. But this week, we are heading into a new topic, which is driving tools. What do you understand by the word driving tools? Anyone? Anyone?
Driving tools are tools which we drive like wood,
Okay, you personally try, but I'm not talking about woodwork. I'm talking about our. So, driving tools are tools used for pushing or driving in an object with a material. So, in the case of material objects like bolts, nuts, and screws are required to join parts together. So, there are different categories of driving tools, which are number 1, hammer. What do you understand by the word hammer? I think you guys have seen hammer before. You know how a hammer looks like. Yeah. So they are metalwork and used for driving objects in the material. It is also used for bending or beating out dents in a metalwork sheet. So there are different categories of hammer. You have straight bend hammers, drop bend hammers, cross bend hammers, respectively. So let's head into number 2, which is pliers. I believe you are also familiar with what a pliers is. flyer tools, right? So, there are also metal work hand tools. They are used for gripping, bending, and cutting small diameters of rod or wires respectively. So, number 3 is span nut. They are also metal work hand tools used for loosening or tightening of bolts and nuts. So, it requires objects like bolts and nuts. Now, when a turning is done, to hold two parts together firmly. So, number 4, you have screwdrivers. There are metal work hand tools used for driving new screws into the material or metal. So, it is operated manually, which is by hand. So, there are 2 categories of screwdrivers. We have flat screw and star screw, respectively. So, last but not the least is and punches. There are also metal work and tools used for driving objects such as rivets to a metal. It consists of a hardened tool. They are used for driving in rivets in the material objects. You all get what I'm trying to say?
Yes,
so,
sir.
the diagram of point is something that looks like this. It's in form of a nail, but not actually a nail. So, if you know, I think the welders or blacksmiths, they do usually use it, some of them use it to break stone, they use it to tighten rivets or so other things in the metal sheet. So, do you all understand what I've explained so far?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any question?
No questions, sir.
I have a question. Okay. So can anyone tell me here? Anyone here tell me the meaning of driving is? For the conclusion of our volunteer. Someone to talk. No answer. Did I call someone? Did I call someone? Okay. In the absence of this person, let's take down this assignment. No. So, in the absence of no question, let's call it a day.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you today? I'm fine. Okay, my name is Miss Becky. I'll be your basic science and technology teacher for today. Today's topic is frictional force. What did I say? Frictional force. fictional force. When we talk about fiction, first I want to define fictional force. Fictional force is the force which tries to prevent the motion of one surface against another. Fiction simply means it has to do with surfaces, and when we talk about the first fictional force is the force which tries to prevent the motion of one surface over another. What did I say? Okay, let me read myself. Just a minute. Fiction is prevent the motion of I believe you can see what I wrote for the board. So now you repeat after me. Fiction is the force which tries to prevent the motion of one surface over another. Another description of what a fiction is that it occurs while rubbing surfaces of an object against another. I believe you know what surface is. Please, if you can explain in your own understanding what you understand by surfaces. Okay. Surface simply means the face of something. It can even be this particular table that I have here. The place that you can touch and feel. That is the surface. So, fiction occurs when you rub surfaces together. And examples of fiction we have examples of may I tell you that fiction is what we do every day? Because number one example of fiction is your leg. The friction between your leg against the hard surface, against the ground. Are you getting what I'm saying? Yes. I believe you all here. So friction is what we do every day. Number one example of friction is the friction between your leg. So that is the number one example, the friction between your leg and the ground on which we all walk on. Another example is the rubbing of palm. Let me demonstrate that. I told you that friction is the rubbing of surfaces. Okay, now this is the surface and another surface, and this is my palm. Rubbing together. Can you demonstrate this? Can you all rub your hands together? What are we doing? Friction. What is this you are doing? Friction. Rubbing of surfaces together. Rubbing your hands together. The motion between your leg and the ground is also called friction. So number two example is rubbing of your hands together. Let me put that on the board. Another example. This particular example, I believe we all see it everywhere we go. I believe we all see it everywhere we go. Like, okay, when we come to school today, how many of you saw the hands on the road? Hands on the road. Another example of friction is the friction, the motion between a car tire and the ground and the road on which it goes on. That is another example. So we move to the advantages. Friction advantages is that it allows you to stand and walk. Without friction, you won't be able to stand and walk the way we do every day. We would have probably slipped. So another one is that you can hold a object properly because of friction.
Like right now, I'm holding this. There is friction between these two surfaces. If there is no friction, the surface moves or something. Another advantage is that, like I said, the friction between tires and the road. If there is no friction, then there will be movement of tires and cars on the road. Then there's nothing that has advantages that doesn't have disadvantages. So one of the advantages of friction is that it can cause accidents. Disadvantages, yes. When a vehicle applied solidly on wet ground. Have you experienced this kind of situation whereby someone poured a slippery water on the floor and then it just broke at that time? What will happen? Who can tell me what will happen?
The person will sleep and fall.
The person will slip and fall. That is because there is no friction at that particular time. So this is the importance of friction in our everyday activity. So any questions for me? I believe you all understand this.
Yes, ma'am.
Questions? About we prepare questions? Okay, in the absence of no question, so Shiva, can you give me the meaning of friction?
Friction is the force which tries to prevent the motion of one surface over another.
If you don't know about this, that means you're paying attention when I was talking about it. Very good. So I'll give you this assignment to take home. Submit first thing on my table. Bring that so you can copy this assignment. We are going to get in the class.